All right, so the other night, Mr. Medicare came back to pay his medical bills, and it was we were watching it. We watched it in the Pod Awful Cult, and by all accounts, I heard this from many people, it was womp womp boring, very bad. Unless you really like AI song covers, then it probably wasn't unless you're really into, if you figured out smoking at the age of 23, you probably loved that stream, but us, not so much. The products of divorce probably were sitting there going, yeah, woo, this guy's dying, ah! But it was so boring to us that we actually, this is not a joke, we tuned in to Nightwave. Wait, that was supposed to echo when I did that, and then nothing happened. Can I try that again? Take two. Nightwave. Ah! All right, so Nightwave was actually more into, we were like, there's got to be something else going. Mersh is probably losing it over Medicare. We were so bored during the Medicare stream, and this isn't just a shit on Mr. Medicare. I feel bad for Mr. Medicare. In fact, we felt so bad for him, and we were so bored that we started to send him milk. We sent him a bunch of milk. Now, he brought this up very briefly on stream. He thought somebody had brought him like a Big Mac, and then he lied, and he said, like, I'm going to go eat the Big Mac, chat. Hey, chat. Wait, hang on a second. Let's try that.
Hey, chat. Hey, chat. There we go. Huh, chat. I don't know. Nick Fuentes? Is it a reference to Nick Fuentes, chat?
And I'm never going to recover my audio settings ever again. I have no idea what I used to sound. That sounds wrong. It's probably somewhere in there. Anyway, the point is we sent him a bunch of milk. People got mad about them. A lot of people actually liked the milk. There's a vocal minority. And isn't it always the minorities that are vocal? It was a vocal minority who were like, Jesse, this is bad. I had one guy telling me, Jesse, you can't send him milk. He's got kidney stones. You think I don't know about kidney stones? Have you met me? Hi, Jesse. Remember me? They call me Mr. Stone, okay? Mr. Kidney Stone. I have medullary sponge kidney. I know what's good and what's not for a kidney stone. We're sending him the milk because this man, this is true. I don't know if anybody's talking about this. The man's bones are disappearing. He has a grandma's skeleton. This shouldn't be physically possible. I think he's like 40, right? I don't know anything about Mr. Matoker. But I think he's like 40 and he has the skeleton of a 90-year-old lady. And a lot of streamers I think this is part of Crowder-David's disease, is it gives you feminine diseases, fibromyalgia, just pretending you're sick, breast cancer, osteoporosis, all the dreaded gum disease, gingivitis, all of these seem to affect streamers more often. I'm not really sure why. So I learned as a kid, the calcium in milk does a body good, right? You give them milk, it'll fix it. I've got a guy freaking out on Twitter going, it's going to cause kidney stones. Now, I happen to know a lot about this because I have medullary sponge kidney. I've talked to many doctors, don't even know this stuff. I had to do a bunch of, and this isn't your independent research that involves, loose coins or anything. This isn't you just Googling stuff to figure it out. I'm talking years, 20 years of research on all of this. You come to find out kidney stones are made of calcium oxalate. I got this guy telling me I mix chemicals for a living. I think I know what I'm talking about. You can't give them calcium. I said, it's calcium oxalate is the problem. It's like broccoli and apples. No joke. If you think my diet is bad, I have to sort of eat this way. Because the things you think are bad for kidney stones aren't. Like, you know what I got told by every doctor? By the way, this show's about Ethan Ralph. Drink cranberry juice. And in my head, I'm like, well, I remember my girlfriend did that when I jizzed inside her and it went up into her pee hole and she got a yeast infection. I don't think I'm having a yeast issue here. I'm not the Santa Cruz Joker. Bread deliveries aren't on the menu. So I always was spurious about this. It turns out cranberry is filled with calcium oxalate. Filled with it. It's the worst thing for kidney stones. Almost everybody's kidney stones are made of this. So this guy, he says he mixes I'm thinking he's a scientist. He's got a Bunsen burner and a beaker somewhere and maybe another Muppet baby. And I think this guy knows it, but I'm like, what do you mean? It's calcium, it's calcium oxalate, not calcium. He's like, what's in calcium oxalate? Implying calcium. I said this to him. I said, what's in water? Try to breathe it. There's a pretty good amount of oxygen in water. Go ahead, give it a sniff. See how that works out for you. How much oxygen's in carbon monoxide? Oh, 1? There's 1 carbon and 1 oxygen? Give it a try. Urine is 95% water. I've got a delicious beverage for you. It turns out, by the way, this guy should have known that one. Turns out when he said he mixes chemicals for a living, he works at the sewage treatment plant. His job is literally separating turds from delicious, the way they do it, what this guy does is he reaches in the sewer. He just stands by an open sewer. They pay him for this. And he has to reach in and pull out turds. And then they send the turd water back to your tap. Delicious tap water. Nothing to worry about. This guy mixes chemicals for a living. He doesn't know the difference between calcium and calcium oxalate. You add a molecule to something, it turns out, boom, big difference. One of these molecules that can make a big difference in a guy, turns out, is a thing called alcohol. I don't know if that's a molecule or not, but I do know that it's a dreaded disease. Now, it's not the disease that Mr. Medicare has, which is, of course, Munchausen by proxy, but it is a bad, bad disease. So we're watching Medicare, and we're sending him the milk, and he's lying about the milk and everything, and that's fine. I don't care. People think we send milk. By the way, I didn't even actually send the milk. The Pod Awful cult sent the milk, so congrats to the Pod Awful cult. It was actually a hit with most people. Most people liked it. Most people were mad that Medicare wouldn't drink the milk. They thought, ooh, bad show, disappointing show, very boring show. He should have been drinking the milk. We would have liked this show a lot more if we could hear a milk mustache on his lip. We could hear the distinct lack of milk on his mustache. This is not a joke. He got so scared. This guy's been swatted before, so I kind of understand. I'm not really goofing on him here. But he was so scared about the milk being delivered. But we sent him potatoes before. I thought he would just think back, oh, it's like the potatoes, no big deal. The Spud Buds. Remember the Spud Buds? That was us. So I thought he'd have this guy, he's so scared. He starts lighting up the guy is dying from cigarettes. I didn't think it was possible. He starts lighting up. He's smoking on, this is everybody's like, Jesse, you don't get it. He's dying. He's trying to enjoy his dying. Okay, well, you're either speeding up the process or you're slowing it. You're starting a stream again to pay for your medical. But how about this? Here's a way to enjoy the process. Now, I'm not suggesting anything here. You can't be like Mr. Nihilistic and Mr. I'm trying to keep living as long as possible so I can watch Ethan Ralph's downfall. I just need to outlive Ethan Ralph. That's the lowest bar that's ever been set by a human being ever. So we switch over to Nightwave. We start sending Mersh fried pickles. He said he likes fried pickles. We thought something might come of that. That's a bust. All right, we're having a bad night. Listen, they're not all hits. We get it. We get it. The joke is done. Coleslaw. We all remember the coleslaw. That's not true. It is true, Ethan. So then I see Ethan. I'm bored. I'm so bored of all of this. I see Ethan Ralph, my new friend. I've made friends with Ethan. I think we've actually made a lot of progress. And Ethan, I think, likes me at this point. And I like Ethan. I tell him that all the time. And I picked the wrong time to be Ethan Ralph's friend right now is, not great. Ethan Ralph is doing this Twitter space. And I tune in and I go, you know what? Ethan is a guarantee. He's like Alex Jones. He's an entertainer to his core. He's all about the entertainment. There's a scant few on the internet where their entire, down to their bones, it's about entertainment. And actually, that might be the issue with Mr. Medicare. If it's down to your bones, then you really want to keep as many of those bones as humanly possible. Obviously, Mersh is sitting there with a bib on and a giant oversized knife and fork, salivating over turning Medicare's entire skeleton into a slurry that he can do this to, so he can pause in the middle of talking and just do one of these. So I see Ethan is on a Twitter space. I joined the Twitter space. He instantly lets me on the Twitter space. And unfortunately, there was an issue. Unfortunately, there was actually a big problem with this because Ethan didn't sound like the vivacious, man about town that I was talking to the last time I was on. I was on this Fuck Cozy festival with him, and it was a brilliant, wonderful time. He was an excellent host. And I thought at first, like, oh, he doesn't know how Twitter spaces work. And then things happened. Stuff started getting scary. In fact, it got really, really scary when a guy named Gabe Hoffman. The echo was for effect. It meant nothing else. This guy, Gabe Hoffman, joined and dropped something onto the entire conversation that changed my look of all of this. Days ago, Ethan Ralph claimed to be sober as a judge, which the last time a guy said that, he was an oversized chicken in a courtroom. So I don't listen, you figure that one out. I don't know. Unwrap that Gordian knot of whatever I just said. A guy sober as a judge. I don't think Ethan's dad has ever heard of that phrase. He didn't sound so sober. He didn't sound with it. Now, Ethan told me it's because he was tired. I'm not a judge. I might be as sober as one, but I'm not a judge. So tonight, I'm going to let you be the judge. Is Ethan Ralph sober? Let's find out.
Bully the internet. This is Ethan Ralph here watching Pod Awful.
Okay, well, that was a little quiet. You couldn't really hear that one, to be honest. You probably should have been able to hear that one. I'm going to play that one again, actually. You want to hear that one more time? Hey, everybody, I'm your host, Jesse P.S. This is Pod Awful. Got the chat room. We're live. Thank you for joining me live. Hit that like button and share that show. We want as many people here as possible to see this because I need. Listen, I've never had a drink in my life, never had a drop, so I don't know. We're gonna listen to it, but hang on. Let me just play this one more time for you. Let's just take a look at this.
Let's go bully the internet. This is Ethan Ralph, and you're watching Pod Awful.
Thank you very much. And that is true.
It's not true.
It is true.
That's not true.
It's true.
They're cyberbullying me to death.
Now, I am not. I want to be very clear here. Ethan's in a bad spot. Whether he's sober or not, he's in a real bad spot right now. He's in one of his spirals. And folks, I know, I get it. Everybody thinks that you're here for the spirals. You want him. Lol cow, friend, foe. I like Ethan. I'm not going against him here. I really need to help understand this. I don't even know how to say this. You're not going to like me for saying this. I am for total sector death. Okay? It's time. Ethan is releasing nudes of his wife. Listen, an economy has been built up around Ethan Ralph, this character, this amazing character. But the economy exists on these blood libels, trying to destroy the man. And he goes into these spin outs. He went on Kick. I think this was yesterday. He went on Kick and started a fund to see his little schmeckle. And they kicked him, ironically, off of Kick. If you're being kicked from, you gotta, listen, you're allowed to gamble with children on Kick, okay? I've seen guys do real fucked up shit on Kick. Just the idea of Ethan Ralph showing his penis was enough for the overlords at Kick to go, nah, we're good. Thanks anyway. Nah, I think that'll be enough from Ethan Ralph. Goodbye. And then they finger gunned him, and that's it. He's releasing nudes, it looks like, of which I was told, I don't know. I seem to recall that there was no sex tape of Amanda Morris, the horse. Mantsu. I recall everybody being mad about nudes with her. Now everybody's clamoring for her nudes. Remember when I said that people were mad that the sex tape wasn't real because they wanted to see the nudes? Well, you got them. Enjoy. Ooh. Hachi machi aruga. Whoa, what a babe. Wow. The Kiwi farmers are all... Whoo! Oh, boy. Thanks, Ethan. Man, that's a good one. That's a fine piece right there. A little slice of, ooh, ooga chaka. So you get it. Anyway, Ethan I'm total sector deaf. I'm sorry. And I apologize to anybody. I'm friends with a lot of sector people. I'm never going to cover any of this again. It's it. This is over. Okay. The sector, it's done. And I'm not saying that I know people are going to say, Jesse, you're saying you're friends with Ethan, you're now a gunt guard, and it has nothing to do with that. Listen, you got to build your lol cows up. Ethan had this huge rise of the Fuck Cozy Fest, but everybody's saying it. How did you fuck it up this fast? How did he fuck it up this fast? The whole internet's against him. How does Alex Jones owe 50 bajillion, gazillion, gorillion, $6 million? Because everyone's against him. How does Trump lose the election? Because they're, you get it with everyone else. You don't get it with Ethan Ralph. Like, for instance, my guy, if I built an economy around anybody, it's Mersh, right? I mean...
They're cyberbullying me to death.
Pot off a one.
There's no one goonier than Mersh. And we prove that time and time again. He just lost his Twitter, right? I'm not going to be hitting Mersh right now. There's not going to be a lot of whoo against Mersh because he's at his lowest. We need to build him back up again. It makes the fall much sweeter. People are not delicate enough with their cows. I was there in the instant that Ethan Ralph was inhabited by the spirit of Sonichu, okay? I was there at the arrest of Chris Chan. I watched the dimensional merge happen. You know where we're at. You know what you've done, the sector. I'll tell you what you've done. You've put Ethan in his troon phase. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm wrong. You telling me this isn't the troon era of Chris Chan for Ethan Ralph? Where you're like, it's not even interesting anymore. Somebody else made this point, actually. I don't even remember who said it now. I caught half of, maybe it was Medicare. That's probably who said it. I think it was Medicare. I was so bored that I only half took this in. If it was him, he's right when he says, like, there's these little pop-up shops, all these guys pop up and try to make Ethan Ralph a thing in their life too, because they see there's this trickle down. There's Kino Casino at the top, and then there's all the bottom feeders and stuff. I get it, okay? And I like Andy. I'm not saying anything against Andy. They need to move on. They need some new jokers, goons. They need some new jokers on the Kino Casino. Here's why. I'm risking everything to bring you this episode, okay? Because when you cover Ethan Ralph, you are essentially COG. Now, I don't get to choose that. There's no difference between me and COG right now. We're both covering. In fact, I think he covered exactly what I'm going to be playing, the Twitter space I'm going to be playing for you here in a second. This Twitter space is amazing. Okay, it all builds up. It's slow. It's one of these slow burns. So stick with it. You're going to fucking enjoy it. When it gets to Gabe Hoffman and the rules, the canon of Ethan Ralph has now been rewritten, it becomes a fucking tragedy. When it gets to the end, it becomes one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I am concerned for Ethan Ralph. I'm just going to say it. I'm the guy who shows up to his house, who he and his wife are scared. I don't give a shit. I'm concerned for the man. I don't want him to troon out. We're this close. And I know what you're thinking. We want him to No, we don't. No, we don't. When Chris Chan entered his troon era, the Kino, whatever you guys call it, was over. Disgusting. I hate that term, but it was over. So if you are covering Ethan Ralph in the year of our Lord 2023, you are Cog.
I got excited, very excited to see all of this.
So I'm going to show you all of this. And all of this is incredibly autistic. It's just true.
I have
It's gross.
I can't help it.
But I'm excited. I am excited to show it to you. It is going to rock. This is the only show that rocks, and we're going to bring it to you. But I'm risking it all. This is bad. So I am pledging now. I will never, ever, and this is on the record, okay? Clip this, save it for the next time. I don't care what Ethan Ralph does. I don't care what Mr. Medicare does, the Kino Casino. Again, if I like him, I don't like him, doesn't matter. I don't care what happens. I will never, ever cover the sector again. I'm done. I'm quitting cold turkey, even if Ethan Ralph can't. But again, you're going to be the judge on that one. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pod Awful. Thank you. The only show that rocks. People are doing guitars in the chat. Let's see what they're saying in the chat. What the Cog? Am I crazy for thinking that? Are you not essentially Cog if you're doing the? And I mean, by the way, like it gets worse than. It seems impossible. It gets worse than Cog. That shouldn't be physically in the realm of being. You know, you shouldn't even be able to think that thought. There are lesser thans than Cog picking up some of these crumbs. They're going to be picking up these crumbs right here. I'm going to drop these breadcrumbs. They're going to pick them up. No offense. We got to move on. You know, Teddy Feezer was your out. Start doing Feezer. Look how you ran Feezer off so fast, too. This is what I'm talking about. You got to build him up. Give him a minute. Tell him his hair looks good. Lie. Okay, whatever you got to do. You got to build these guys up. You can't troon them out too fast. We had years with Chris Chan. Everybody's now speed running any percent. Ethan Ralph, and not glitchless. They're glitching some of this stuff. I don't even know how they're doing it. We're getting into the ideas guys territory. Some people would accuse me of that. I think this audio that you're about to listen to will clear me of all charges when it comes to that. I'm going to have to play this rough because this was not saved by Ethan. So I've sourced this from a few different people. Thank you to the people who downloaded this. There was one guy got me a version of this, and it's unplayable. I didn't have the heart to tell him. Mr. Bacon, thank you for uploading it. Your version of it sounds retarded. Number one, you uploaded it to Rumble. So immediately, no thank you. But I was going to use it. And then I listened to it. Your version sounds like we're all on, methahydroxycolodone. It's like, I don't know how you didn't hear that. It sounds like we've been huffing. What's that gas that makes you talk lower? I got to ask the guy who plays with poop for a living. What is that gas? He probably doesn't know. It's oxygen. You can breathe it. Okay. So I couldn't use your version. Unfortunately, I had to source this from one of the lowest bottom feeders in the entire sector. I'm one of the more disgusting. This is one of these people that all they do is stream snipe. That's their whole, they have a channel of stream snipe. There's no thoughts. So every once in a while, you may hear a skittish child in hushed tones doing quote unquote commentary over this. Okay. I'm just going to let this play. I'm going to let you guys listen to it raw. I might jump in here and there just to keep you abreast of whatever might be happening context wise in the story. But if you hear a child making sure that his divorced parents in the next room can't hear while they're fighting, they can't hear that he's streaming as a 38-year-old man, then, ignore it because this is the best source. Unfortunately, this is the only guy I could get it from. So thanks to everybody who tried, though. Let's take a listen. This is Ethan Ralph's Twitter space. You be the judge. Is Ethan Ralph sober? I need to know because we got to help this guy.
I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Pod awful, why not? Honestly. Go ahead. You should be able to speak now. I think. I don't.
Now, all right. All right. This will be my first butt in, and hopefully last for a little while. If you can't understand Ethan, then we've probably got a problem, and your opinions are already being tabulated. We will be speaking, by the way, later to my doctor I have a Mexican doctor, as you guys know, Dr. Herman Tirado, and we will be speaking to him. We'll get an expert opinion on this. We'll weigh all the results and see. If you can't understand what Ethan's saying, sorry, try your best. He doesn't know how Twitter Spaces work, so there's going to be some technical difficulties. So just sit by. Again, slow burn this one. It gets good. Take a listen.
I don't know. I'm not very familiar with Twitter Spaces, so it says requested. Let's see. You should be able to speak, man. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right, go ahead. Yes. What's up, brother?
We read Mediker's poetry yet on here, or?
No, we haven't, but
I
should
think.
we? Yeah, I think it's only fair, honestly. I mean, he's a big fan of my poetry. There's several pages of his poetry, by the way. This is not like, I think he fancied himself like some type of excellente when it comes to. Let me read
And
this.
I want everybody to remember, you have to grade poetry in a curve because all poetry is technically legally gay.
True.
So any type, if you're ever doing poetry at all, you are having sort of a gay thought that you want to express out loud.
Right. That's
and
true.
as we talked about before,
And
Ethan, you're supposed to keep those a secret inside your head like Randbot. So
right, and that's true. That's right, the gay secret. And you know what? I sent it to that poor Grace. I sent it to a couple women because I was hoping that maybe.
Okay, so this is going to happen in and out. Just give it. Hey, I don't know if this might just be for me, but your audio just cut out like crazy. Like I can barely hear you at all.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so I wrote this poem because I wanted to get my wife back. Now, did it work? No, obviously. But
we've all been there.
Right, exactly. I mean, like I'm trying everything, right? This is poem number 1, first of many. Please have fun with this. The first of many writings to be included here. Revise, rewrite, edit, make it your own, make it beautiful, make it real. Show the nature of revisionist poetry right here. This is Jim Mediker who wrote this, by the way. This was not Ethan Ralph. This was
gay thoughts out loud. He wanted to share these with the world. He wanted He thought this should be put into a book.
Back, it was just like he's gay. Like I mean, I don't.
This wasn't a private message to a lady in a tender, desperate moment. This is he thinks he's E.E. Cummings.
Right. I like that reference. So this is from the Minnesota Writers Group, and he said, "Let me try to really get into it." Unspoken. We make an arch with our hands, the union of one and one. Through 5 to 5, the awkward mathematics of love. In the field below the numbers, we sing music without words, which sounds so much like forgiveness for something we haven't yet done. But it is what we will do, no matter intentions. Imagine the baked snow touching the gilded tips of wheat, beautiful in the cool sun, and oh, so deadly. That was his poem. By the way, unobjectively, my poem was much better.
I think it's a difference of like your poem sounds like a kid writing a poem.
Well, I'm trying to get my wife back, nigga. Like,
yeah. No, I get it. But his poem.
What does his sound like then?
His poem sounds like a guy who like read some poems and is trying to write, the poems he's read already.
Right. That's exactly right. And he's trying to emulate others. I don't. I have no great experience with poetry. I read a few here and there, whatever.
So I just want to be clear. Like, I jump in here now. We're talking about the fact that Medicare read Ethan's poetry on stream or something, and so we discovered that Medicare had poems. That Medicare at one time thought he was going to be a great poet, like the next great American poet, which is very embarrassing. Both versions are very embarrassing. There's no such thing as good poetry. I start off, I'm jumping in with this bit. I'm trying to make something happen. Let's talk about Medicare's poetry. You're going to hear me back off here. This is going to be the least bit-y, the least laugh-y H2BH the show ever. This is why I had to cover it this way and I didn't just release it. Like, I'm starting to get worried right about here. All right. I'm a little slow on the uptake. I don't drink. I don't know. So I'm hearing him talking. I'm hearing how with it he is. And again, you're all sitting there going, he's drunk probably. I haven't actually checked the chat. I'll check the chat in a second here. But I didn't know. So I'm now getting worried. And as this carries on, you'll see I'm actually treating this very, very seriously. Like, probably a little bit more seriously than I should have.
But it's not my bag. And so I just wanted
Walt
something.
Whitman.
Right. Walt Whitman, exactly. It's not something that's my bag. I wanted to write something to my wife that would maybe mean something. Obviously, it didn't. But, I wasn't trying to emulate a great poet. I was just trying to write something heartfelt. And there is poem after poem of Medicare. And by the way, I don't know if you know this. There's a lot of stuff from Medicare back in the Minnesota days with all of his writings. And, I honestly tried to drop this, Jesse, because, I really don't care. It was last year. I started a little bit myself and, just water under the bridge. But he apparently wants to, try to go at me. So,
well, listen, he's broke. I mean, flat fucking broke, right? And he needs the money. Actually, you are the money. That's true. What I'm saying there is true. I probably shouldn't be interrupting this, but I just realized something. There's something very important here. There's another guy with a very embarrassing poem. And this is completely unrelated, but so we've got Ethan Ralph's poems. All right. And I see people in the chat saying, yeah, Medicare was 20 when he wrote those poems. Ethan's 40. You think Medicare's not secretly still writing poems? You think a dude dying on his hospice bed in his anime dungeon isn't writing poems? I would kill to see those poems. But, there is another guy who wrote some beautiful poetry. We could take a second. Why not? Let's just say
something, to highlight the absurdity and hypocrisy of our elected officials. But today is not that day, because my mom was murdered on October 25th at Baylor Hospital. She was given remdesivir without our authority.
We're just comparing poems.
Told them specifically not to give her remdesivir. 5 days later,
this is a pod-awful poetry slam.
We showed them the studies.
It's a poetry
Over 30% of the people that were given remdesivir in the studies died. We told the doctor, the infectious disease specialist, do not give my mom remdesivir. Guess what they did? They gave her a 5-day cycle, and my mom is dead. She's dead. She died at Baylor Hospital, tied to a bed with a ventilator stuck to her, taped to her face.
Heartbreaking stuff. So the poetry that comes from this must be beautiful. Again, Mr. Medicare's poetry must be beautiful. The heartbreak from Ethan Ralph. I mean, he's not, he's maybe not the greatest wordsmith, but
with her hands tied to the bed because she was ripping it off. What they did to my mom by slowly torturing her to death will not happen to me, because I'm not going to go out like that, first of all. Nobody should go out like that. Every single person on this council should hope and pray that you do not receive the same care that my mom received at Baylor Hospital when she was murdered. You guys better hope.
I forget every time he says, I'm not going out like that, about his own mom.
And pray that when you are in a circumstance, when you need life-saving treatment and you tell the doctor to do something, you better go to a hospital where they will listen to you. Because at Baylor Hospital, they wanted to ventilate my mom as soon as she got there. While she was walking and talking in the hospital, they wanted to ventilate her because they get a $39,000 federal funding every time somebody is on a ventilator. And now my mom is dead given an experimental drug. And so now I have to live with this pain every single day for the rest of my life. So I wrote a little poem to honor my mom.
Here we go. This must be beautiful. Let's take a look.
I miss my mother more than I ever thought. I've been to hell, and boy, it's hot. Watching my mom die in front of my face, it was more painful than a bottle of mace. Sometimes you forget the world is so bad until you go to Baylor Hospital and die before your son's dad. I will never recover from this pain. The memory of my mom dying is tattooed in my brain. I don't wish this hurt on any mortal soul. The feeling is empty, like a shattered bowl. I lost my number one fan on the earth. Without my mother, I feel little worth. Please don't let my mom die in worthless vain. Baylor Hospital killed her with a side of extra pain. My story is not unique in the slightest. So hug your mom and dad while they're still the brightest. Because my mom is dead and my heart is broken, you can lose a loved one before you finish that cig
that you're smoking. Okay, so you know what? In hindsight, I guess
And I'm
Mediker's
telling you guys,
poem sounds a little less gay. But let's find out if Ethan Ralph has cigs he's smoking. When people talk, I mean, people call it the sector. He calls it the sector. That's a word you say, that you came up with that. That's your
right.
thing. They spell it the way they spell it because of the way you say it. You sound all silly and crazy when you talk.
Sector. Yeah.
Sector, right. And although I have to say, this is something I always find notable about you is you do have like a deceptively good vocabulary. You use words and phrases I like nobody's used since the 1800s. Like the other day you described yourself as sober as a judge. The last time a guy said that, he was wearing a tweed suit or so, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So
I have
anyway,
a few anachronistic phrases. That's true.
I
By the
love
way,
that.
If you don't know, look it up, as Sargon would say, anachronistic. But I see Wild Goose in here. I haven't talked to Wild Goose in many years. Did he just leave when I called him out? Why doesn't Goose get on here? I think he literally just left. And I don't know why. He's mad at me for whatever reason.
He might have been scared of me too, actually. But
Oh, do you have some history with him?
I don't think so. I don't have an issue with anybody. I'm poking some fun at Mediker here. I feel bad for the guy. He's flat broke. He's dying supposedly. I'm kind of with Mersh where I think it's fake. But here's the thing.
too.
I believe the cancer is fake, but I believe the osteoporosis is real. I do think he has a grandma's skeleton.
Yeah. I think the pedophilia is real. That's what I think.
I don't know about that. I'm trying to fix him. I'm not going to touch that, but I'm trying to get him better. The guy, we sent him a bunch of milk earlier from McDonald's, and while he's streaming, he got all this milk. He didn't even look in the bag. He thinks he's got McDonald's. He was like talking about, I'm going to eat all these burgers. It's just milk. All we sent was milk. Because we're trying to fix his bones. I'm afraid Mersh is going to come with a straw and drink him up or something. So I'm trying to help him out here, and then he won't admit on stream that it's milk. Like, he hasn't mentioned the milk one time. I've got photos on my Twitter. The milk is piling up.
Full of milk, and he tried to act like it was a bag full of burgers.
Yeah, exactly. And he's trying to make it like it was some sort of Nick Fuentes joke. This is not a joke. I'm taking your health way more serious than you are, Mr. Mediker. And I know you'll listen to this. Please drink the milk. We got to get some calcium in you. We've got to fix your bone. It is scary what you're doing to yourself. No joke. He was so afraid of the McDonald's that showed up that he said, I have to start smoking again. This is a dying man.
He's dying, allegedly dying of fucking like lung ailments and heart attacks. And I think of the Don Draper quote, especially recently in my life. I'm living like there's no tomorrow because there isn't one. That's a little bit of a nihilistic quote. But I haven't been diagnosed with deadly diseases. You know what I mean? Like, you would think that maybe he could put the cigs down just for a little bit, Jesse.
I thought, listen, all right. So, Ethan, you smoke occasionally. I do smoke cigarettes.
Yeah, I do.
You do? Okay. So Listen, I get it. People smoke, right? Whatever. I don't smoke. I find it bizarre. I find it like it literally makes me laugh. Smoking, I find so strange. It makes me laugh. I think it's gross. I don't have a problem. I'm not one of those people where like, you smoke around me. I'm like, no, secondhand. I don't believe in like secondhand smoke or anything. But Medicare is dying. Like the guy is claiming he's got cancer. And then I see him light up the stream, and his image for the stream is cigarettes everywhere.
Ashtray with cigarettes all in it.
Ashtray. And listen, this is what I find so humorous about smoking, especially when it comes to Medicare, is I know that he thinks it looks cool.
Yeah.
And I know that the people who like still look at him as an e-daddy think it looks cool. And I think he's actually inspired people to smoke. Imagine that. Like, when they started trying to ban cigarettes in movies and TV and shit, and, you couldn't have them in certain magazines and all of that. I think they were fucking right for doing that because
when I was a kid, and you probably about how old are you?
I'm around the same age as you, I think.
Right, about the same age. And you know what? I remember thinking Joe Camel was cool as fuck.
Well, I mean, you know what Norm Macdonald said about Joe Camel, though, right? That's not good. I wouldn't admit that out loud.
Like, oh, Marble Man smoking and, bitches on his dick. And, like, that wasn't an accident. They wanted you to think that.
Yeah, of course.
By the way, the alcohol salesmen are the same way. I had to take an ADSAP class. I won't say why, DUI. But they actually explain the mentality of drinking.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest factors of drinking is rebelliousness, is unpredictability, and you'll never know what'll happen. You'll never know who you'll fuck. You'll never know unless you have this drink.
Well, that's why you start doing these things when you're a teen. These are like teenage thoughts,
Right.
But that's the thing is like Medicare. I really want you to picture, even the smokers out there, even the Medicare fans, really picture this. This dude has no doubt inspired some like arrested development, mentally delayed autists to start smoking. And now he's dying from cigarettes, which is so gay and crazy. But like, most people live to be 90 smoking cigarettes, but this guy somehow has smoked whatever the amount, how in Europe they've got cigarette packs that show like a black lung on it or whatever. Like in order to get those photos, it's either an 80-year-old guy or a guy like Mr. Medicare. Like that's how much he's fucking smoking. If you look at his, okay, don't do this. I'm not trying to tell anyone.
Dude, literally, one of them has like a rat that's dead on the top of the box. One of them has cancer de mama, like your mom's gonna die of cancer. They show lungs like rotted out on the top there. That's how they do it here in Mexico.
Like let's say you live in a basement permanently, right? Just as a hypothetical, and you smoke so much that your window to your basement is just constantly open. And I know this because I might have just looked at Medicare's house on Google Street View, and literally in the middle of October when it's like kind of cold out in Minnesota, he's got his window to the basement open to let all the smoke. I'm not joking. You can see it on Street View. It's very funny. This guy needs somebody to come fucking, like, I don't know what is his wife doing? She needs to stop him. Like, how is he getting cigarettes?
Do you know how he got his wife? Do you know the story?
No, I don't really know anything about the guy.
Were you around back in Gamergate?
I mean, I had a show, but I didn't know anything about all that stuff.
Okay, so Jade was a big.
Oh wait, your mic is fucking up again.
Okay, can you hear me better now?
Yep, there you go.
So Jade, whatever her fucking name was, the big titty bitch, Jade. Somebody in chat can correct me. She was one of the ringleaders of Gamergate. That's why I don't feel bad making fun of her, because she's basically a colleague of mine, Jesse.
Okay.
And she started the Not Your Shield And there was another op that was Operation Disrespectful Nod. And so Not Your Shield was oh, we're women in gaming, we're blacks in gaming, and you can't say this about us. And we love gaming, and of course retarded because nobody believed that, but whatever. It was just a propaganda talking point. And then she had disrespectful nod, but then she had not your shield, but then she had disrespectful nod, and so daily she ran the email campaigns to email these journalists and these companies to try to win Gamergate over. And by the way, for a month or two it worked until they realized, we were all a bunch of psychos. And and then it stopped working. But and let me light, speaking of lighting cigarettes, mm, mm, mm. Chip, I'm still gonna outlove you, cocksucker. But so she got some success early on with that till they realized we were all psychos. But if you don't know, she was a e-whore,
Mm.
Jesse.
Yeah.
And there are pictures out here of her being an e-whore, showing her tits.
Spreading
And
her
there are
flaps, opening hole.
yeah, opening holes. And now there are no like super graphic pictures of this. But we know for a fact that, they exist, right? Like, I mean, you don't just do those types of things, and those things don't exist. And Jim, and I was big in early Gamergate and was on streams with Jim and Roguestar and King of Paul and Shoe on Head and Oliver Campbell and Frederick Brennan, owner of 8chan, all these people. I was a figurehead of Gamergate. Not the figurehead, but one of them.
Mm.
And she tried to basically whitewash her history. And Jim is such a fucking weeb and such a fucking loser that he is like, by the way, she's not Japanese, she's Korean. So that's a downgrade right
Which
there.
is the knockoff form of
Right.
Japanese. Yeah.
Yeah. Not that there's no hot Koreans, but have the eye surgery at least. But anyway, she got with Jim. You don't know this. I'm gonna tell this publicly, and I hope people record this because a friend of mine named Ivy Clover, who stabbed me in the back, he was dating her, and he was one of these guys, one of these operators. You know what I'm talking about, right? Who gets in everybody's DMs and trying to hook everybody up, and he hooked her up with Medicare.
Okay.
And Medicare immediately stole her from him. And she went to his house and they had a stream and he finger blasted her on stream. So
I have heard that before. Yeah.
yeah, that really happened. It's really out there, and he's got a lot of nerve to talk about sex tapes and all this. He actually finger blasted her on stream. Now, it was no video, to be fair. But he finger blasted her on stream, stole her, cucked her away from Ivy Clover, and he knows all this is true, by the way. And he would never deny it because he can't, because he knows it's true. And he ended up taking her for himself, and he thought he had some big victory because he had some fat Korean with fat. By the way, the fatter you are, the fatter your titties are. I know that myself. And
Wait, are you talking about because you have 4 titties?
yeah. Now, what's funny is I don't actually. You know what? Hey, you want to make me adjust that? I don't have 4 titties. I have 2 titties, and then there's like a slice underneath my left titty, and it's because I got stabbed and sliced underneath, and so there's scar tissue there. And no,
Oh.
I only have 3 titties.
So that's not. Oh, so it's only 3 titties. There's not another.
Yeah,
one.
no, there's
Okay.
not 4. There's
All right,
not
everybody,
4.
correct your memes, correct your drawings out there. Ethan has 3 titties.
Yeah, only. Well, the one's not a 3. It's not actually a titty. It's just like a lateral, piece of fat because I got fucking stabbed
Right.
in Memphis, Tennessee.
Have you ever thought of doing what the trannies do and tattooing on a nipple?
No, I've never thought of that. But,
Okay.
I live in Mexico and I could get it fixed easily, but I don't really care. I've never had any problems getting pussy, Jesse.
That's true.
And so, I don't really care. But I don't actually have 4 titties. I have the one. I have the 2 titties, and then there's like below the left one. There's like a lateral
Right.
piece of fat. And it's because there's scar tissue.
So you're more like the bitch in Total Recall, then?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
exactly right. That's
Gotcha.
exactly, you know what? I can't help but liking you, and I know. You know what? I can't help but liking you, and you know who my best friend is, and I appreciate you not doing that. By the way, on the Fuck Cozy Festival, and I know you could have, and that's
I had no clue what he was talking about here, but I'm just sitting there going, yes.
my guy for life, and
That's my guy
that's
for
never
life.
gonna change. But
I had no idea who he meant, but it's gonna come up later. Okay, we'll get the answer. I was sitting there panicked, like he's thanking me for not doing something to somebody, which again starts making me go, is he all there? I don't know who he means. I had no intention of going on the Fuck Cozy Festival and doing anything other than hacking into Cozy. So let's see. By the way, we hacked into Cozy. I don't know. Should probably, for the podcast only people, make sure you're checking out the YouTube channel. Awful.tube is the YouTube channel. Awful.tube will take you there. But we hacked into Cozy. So I don't know what he meant by any of this, to be honest.
I just want to say that publicly right now that I do appreciate you not going there. And you have your own reasons, and I'm not going to get involved with it. But I appreciate you not doing that.
I'm actually a nice guy. Some people say the greatest guy.
Well, I didn't say that, but
well, this is why I'm trying to save Medicare. This is what I don't get is like he's got this wife, presumably she's there taking care of him. Why is she buying him cigarettes? It's crazy.
Well, because she wants to see him die so she can get all his money.
Like, I'm assuming he's so feeble he can't drive or anything, right? Like, that'd be crazy if he's behind a wheel.
He can't even leave the house, dude. Did you watch the me versus him on Monday Night? He literally is a bubble boy. He can't leave the house because any type of pathogen or sickness could actually send him to his grave.
See, that's what I don't believe. I think that's in his head. I think he's being a lady. That's a woman's
Well,
thought.
a lot of people think he has Munchausen.
I think so. Maybe Jade's giving it to him. Maybe it's by proxy.
Well, I've had a lot of people tell me that. I want to believe, to be honest, because I've had a lot. Nobody has interacted with Medicare more than me. Period. And it's all been on air, and we've had some good times, and I want to believe that he's telling the truth, but I don't really, especially after tonight. Like, it's like, oh, you came back to try to dunk on me? Like, okay.
I believe he has some health problems. Like, I'm not full on a complete.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm not a complete denier, Mersh style. I think the heart attack's real. I think the osteoporosis is real.
Well, you know what? He got trolled by Mersh, and I know you don't like Mersh, but he got trolled so hard by Mersh that he put out his medical records.
I agree. Yeah, I think Mersh won that one.
Yeah, he did. I mean, and by the way, that's a big admission from you.
I got no problem saying that.
That's a big admission from you. He got trolled so hard by Mersh that he put out his medical records to try to prove that he's actually sick.
Yeah, that's straight up
And
crazy.
it's embarrassing, really.
But it's also telling because the stuff he put out is not cancer related. It's not, all the other things he claims. It's just, oh, I had a heart attack.
Yeah, well, hopefully the next one takes him out. Yeah, I thought, I know you don't like Mersh, and I like you, and I like Porcelain, and I've settled all that beef. But he clearly is really bothered by Mersh saying that he is a fake. And he really can't help himself. You talk about being trolled. You talk about being worked. He was worked.
I agree. I think that's true. Now I know that there's been a huge. Listen, I don't follow everything in the sector. Okay, I'm kind of an outsider to the sector, to be honest. And I know I see through Twitter, obviously, that there's been all sorts of alliances broken and people calling you're against Keno Shea again. You're calling him Keno gay, and I don't really know what all that. Where did that stem from?
Because I was at the beach, I got my shit stolen. I sent out a couple weird tweets. There's no doubt about that. I wasn't fucked up though. I was actually.
So you haven't? Have you not had a drink?
No.
Since when?
Since July 14th.
Okay, so you're not drunk right now at all.
No.
No pills. No. Because I will now again, and I'm coming from an honest place here. This is not bad faith.
Well, you can say what you want.
All right. I will say that right now, to me, I'm not saying you're trashed or anything, but right now, to me, you don't sound as clear as, let's say, when we were doing the Fuck Cozy Festival, or.
And that's fine. That doesn't bother me. But no, I haven't been. And
what would explain that discrepancy?
I'm drunk off just the ridiculousness of this. Like what even is this, Jesse? I mean, you know what I mean? This is crazy. It's absolutely insane. And who would care even if I was drunk?
Well, I mean, I don't care if you are. Although, for me, again, in the same way that, I don't know, or hate or care about Medicare, but the guy, he's on stream dying and lighting up a cigarette because milk showed up. I'm trying to help the guy. I want him to get better. So if you have anything wrong, I want you to get better. I need all of these people, to be healthy enough to keep going.
Yeah, it's content. Yeah, I totally agree. But
well, not even content. I don't even cover you guys that often. It's not for me. It's not even just that. I enjoy seeing the spectacle. So to me right now, I can't understand what the discrepancy is. Why you sound less lucid now than maybe you did before.
Well, because I've been up for about 48 hours, and it is what it is.
What's causing that? Why are you up so long?
Well, I was gonna do a stream today, but I knew they would want me to snipe this faggot, and I didn't want to. So
okay. All
so
right.
That's the reason.
Well, listen, I take a man at his word, but at the same time, I know how powerful the disease of alcoholism
You're
is.
right. It is powerful.
And I know that it can be an embarrassing thing to misstep. And I don't think it has to be, I don't think you're taking a hit by, if you were to misstep, by telling the truth about that.
Well, I would tell the truth. I've told the truth many times. I fell off hard last month, not with just alcohol, but with Xanax. And so, I don't have to lie about it. I don't.
See, I'm a
feel
little
like-
naive to these things because I don't drink or do drugs or anything. I could be naive, and if somebody tells me that they're completely stone cold sober as a judge, let's put it, then I don't. What do I know? I've never been drunk or anything. I don't know if that's true or not. So
You
I
don't
can't.
drink at all.
Huh?
You don't drink at all.
No, I've never have.
Well, that's good for you. And by the way, for anybody listening, I don't encourage my former lifestyle for anybody because I think it's a road to perdition. It's a road to fucking up your life, and I don't want to glorify these things
Yeah.
because there's nothing. It's not glorifiable.
And listen, anybody out there, whether you're an Ethan guy or a Medicare guy, if you listen, I get it. You don't have a dad, okay? So these
He's
guys,
dad.
they're not your dad, and you shouldn't be looking to the now, Ethan, I don't think you glorify these things at all. I think you're sort of a living example of these things being bad.
Right.
But Medicare, I think he does glorify the cigarette. You guys got to stop with the smoking and everything.
Right.
It's bad for you, man. I mean, look at what happened to these guys. And just because your parents divorced when you were 9, it doesn't mean you need to go to the internet to find a fella,
Well, I was actually 11, and
I wasn't talking about you, but okay.
no, but I just want to point this out, and I don't think many people have faced the hardships that I've faced. That's not an excuse to indulge in alcohol or drugs. But my children have been stolen. I mean, literally stolen away from me. And it would be
poor
easy
baby.
to slip into
Poor
that.
Ralph.
That's not something I'm
children
gonna
were
do.
stolen.
So
Well, yeah, and I'm a father's rights guy, so I don't care for that. But on the bright side, I think, at least we can all be sure that you'll probably have another kid at some point.
oh yeah, we will, because I'm very virile. I just have to look at
We
a
will.
bitch and she gets pregnant.
I mean, the
Who?
classic characters of history, these like great legendary men out there, they always have like 5 families. Don't you love great content? This is what I'm talking about. This is why total sector death. You hear the little boy in the background. He's now finally popping up. I'm going to have to like find a way around him here coming up, I'm sure. But the point is, these bottom feeders, man, when you think commentary is just repeating what a guy said, I'm allowed to. This isn't stream sniping, me playing. I'm the content in this. I'm in it. It's me. So I get to just play this. You're another kid. He said, what are you? What are you, Johnny 2 times? Get out of here. We don't need you. Why even butt in for that? Seems like an unnecessary step. Just me? I don't know. You be the sober as a judge.
And I don't have any immediate plans to have a family. But
I got to be honest. I think you're in your getting a Mexican bitch pregnant art.
dude, if you saw the Mexican bitches walking around here, you honestly would not believe how like hot they are.
Well, see, that's the problem though, is
Ralph,
you get
have
them
to pay for
pregnant
a
and they
prostitute.
instantly shrink 3 feet and they become just as wide as they are tall. They're just a papoose slinging burrito troll at that point. But I think that would be nice for you.
Florida at night, and she always hooks me up with pina, which is pineapple in English, and I think she wants to be for sure.
Have you ever seen what's that show called? Eastbound and Down?
Yes, I have.
I think you're in that Okay, you need to find yourself and by the way, forget the hot ones. All right, you can cheat on a Mexican bitch with a hot one. They don't care. You find yourself a nice, plump senorita, and she's gonna do everything that you want out of a wife as long as you're working and stuff. And if you do slip up and drink and stuff, they're Mexicans. They don't give a shit if you drink. That's not a
No, they
huge
don't,
deal.
because they all fucking around me.
You know, you'll be allowed to drive. I mean, you could just give the baby tequila at that point. So I think, and I'm not joking when I know it sounds silly. I think you need to find yourself a nice, squat, ugly Mexican bitch. Settle down with her and then run around on her. Do whatever you want. Go travel to America and fuck white women while you're there. It doesn't matter. Like, it
I
really,
agree with you, but
they're
not
barely
ugly.
people.
You would be surprised, dude. Look, I went up today, and I haven't said this publicly. But when my phone, and by the way, I think my phone just got lost. I don't think it got stolen. And because my cards got lost too, and there's been no activity on them. So I just can't find them.
Right.
But I had to go up to the Ministry of Justice today to file a report on because they take it seriously here. If you lose your temporary residency card, and so I had to go up there and I had to file that. And it was all good. I paid my lawyer. My lawyer is my best friend in town, and he's a great guy.
Yeah.
But it's not really that big of a deal.
I think here's what you need. You need a 5-year plan, and I think I know what it is. Okay. Find, again, the ugliest, squattest, like, just
Nigga,
no,
I don't want an ugly spot.
hang on,
What are you
hang on.
talking
Hear me
about?
out. Hear me out. This is just an idea. Okay. It's a 5-year plan idea. All right. You find and make sure she speaks no English, none. You guys can barely even communicate.
Most
All
of
right.
them don't.
And then you put 3 or 4 kids in this bitch, right? You stick around, you keep your head down, you just keep doing the grind, you be a good dad, and then 5 years from now, after what the oldest one's 4, I guess, at this point, you just out of nowhere, no, like, absolutely no warning at all, you just leave and move back to America. You never see any of them again. You're allowed. I don't know. Listen, I don't make the rules of life, but for whatever reason, you're allowed to do this with Mexican people. So they don't count. Like, and they'll eventually find their way to America
By the way,
anyway.
I want to say something to you, and you might not believe this, but the Mexican people are by far more meritable than American people.
Oh, definitely.
Especially
I
here
love
in
Mexican
the
people. I just love them in Mexico.
US. But I'm saying you don't really understand. I wish you'd come down here, actually, to Merida, and you can get a visa 180 days. It's no problem whatsoever.
Ralph,
I
no one
think you
wants to
would
move to the
enjoy it.
third world. Nobody
It's
wants to
the
move to
safest place
Mexico.
in Mexico, literally, and I think you would enjoy it.
Well, maybe I'll get a vacation home there. I live in Australia now, but
Yeah, of
maybe a
course.
vacation home in where is it? Merida?
Merida, yeah,
Yeah.
Merida. It's in the Yucatan. It's about 3.5 hours west of Cancun.
Okay. Yeah, I could do that. So I might do. That sounds like a great idea. And I'll start a second family there. I won't tell my wife about it. Just find the squattest, ugliest Mexican bitch. Mexican women love getting pregnant off the first guy
Dude,
they meet. They
people
love
don't
it.
understand, but like Mexican women look at me like I'm Brad Pitt because I'm an American And I'm not sure everybody understands this, but if you're an American here in Mexico, it's no problem getting pussy at all.
Yeah, because they think you're a meal ticket. Then they get back and they're like, wait, what? Wait, you live here?
Well,
Wait,
that might be
what?
true. But I'm just saying, man, like people who don't get it, like you're like exotic here. You know how they're exotic there or exotic in other countries?
Well, they're not too exotic in America anymore.
Well, not in America, but you know what I mean? They are exotic. I'm exotic here. And
You're exotic anywhere, I think.
I think so too, Jesse. What else you got, brother?
Oh, that was it. I just want to stop by
This
and say,
dude
hey.
is so fucking
I did think it was
drunk and
mean
high.
that I know you're friends with Null from Kiwi Farms, but I thought it was mean that he made that post about Medicare right before Medicare came back. I don't know if you saw that.
What do you? No, I didn't see it.
He said, I'll read it to you. He said he's responding to a guy talking about, guys like that. And he says, it happens with any E-daddy. Here's the formula for starting a cult based on what I've seen in forum threads here. Number one, be aloof. Scarcity increases your worth. And the less you do, the less likely you are to do something stupid. True. Number two, be funny. People forgive funny people way more than unfunny people. Number three, appeal to people with weak father figures. There's many niches for this. Find your own with few competing E-daddies. Watch as your reputation becomes unimpeachable and
I'll say this.
What was that? Wait, what'd you say? Okay, while he's paused out there for a second, now I tweeted out this that's a real message from Null on Kiwi Farms, and I tweeted that out. And it seemed like everybody just bought it, and Ralph believes that he was talking about Medicare. That's actually Null talking about Sam Hyde. I read that, I don't remember where that came up, but I read that post. I'm like, how does this not apply to guys Null likes or even Null himself? And I saved that screenshot. He's talking about Sam Hyde. Meanwhile, name any E-daddy. You guys literally call him Daddy Jim. It's disgusting. I can't hear you now.
So,
wait, you there?
Here, can you hear me?
Oh, now I can hear you. I don't know what happened.
I'm more funny than Null could ever dream of being. And
you're extremely funny, but you don't have the scarcity part. Number one is being aloof. You're not aloof at all.
No, you're right. I'm not aloof.
But yeah, his point is like when you have all three of these qualities, you're unimpeachable. People will defend you tirelessly without compensation for years. And it's true, there's a lot of guys like that. But I by the way, Null, I don't think Null realizes he's describing himself as well. But
no, let me ask you something before I let you go.
Sure.
Obviously, Dick Masterson is my guy. He's actually a real life friend of mine. Is there any way to build that bridge back?
That you'd have to ask him that. For me, all right. Can I be honest with you about something that I've kind of?
You can. Right. I would like you to be.
Okay. Because this is something I pretty much never said. I've kind of alluded to this a few times, but I'd never outright say this. And I'm always still kind of poking Dick Masterson because I think he does deserve it. He did get my Patreon taken down. But
well, look, I'm not going into that because there's a few different details onto that. But
well, I mean, on the details are that happened. However,
that's my guy.
I'm not talking shit here. I'm not talking shit.
I know. Go ahead. Say what you want to say.
All right. Here's the thing, though. I am that, it's been what, 6 years or whatever since that happened. I don't know how long it's been. I am actually of the opinion now that I basically owe Dick. That was a favor because getting me kicked off of Patreon made me more money than I probably ever would have. I built my own Patreon thing after that. I built the pizza fund after that. I'm much
that code. Yeah, that was pretty smart.
I'm much richer for it having happened. I will say, like, you know, he seems to think, I found out recently that he seems to think that I'm the one who made everyone on the internet start calling him a pedophile. That wasn't me. I didn't do that. Was
By the
him.
way,
He did that.
he's not a pedophile.
I don't really think he is. In fact, I did a whole episode where I said I don't think Vito's a pedophile.
Well, I don't either.
See, so like I'm willing to be friendly.
Well, you
toward
know what?
anybody.
I don't know what I can do, but I would like to build that bridge back because I think both you guys are funny, and my whole beef with you in the first place was just because of that, and
I know that.
and I would like to see that mended.
Well, it's crazy. My whole relationship with Maddox and all of this stuff, all of that happened because I was a fan of Dick Masterson. I started listening to his podcast, not the Dick Show, the one that he had with Maddox before that. I started listening to that. I had no clue who Maddox was. I had seen Dick Masterson back on Dr. Phil when that first happened. And I was into that. I thought that was funny. So I was like, holy shit, it's that guy from the Dr. Phil episode. I'll watch that. I'll listen to that podcast. And so it is odd that it all kind of shook out this way. But at the same time, I think anything I've done in the past when it comes to him was 100% justified. But I'm not, I don't really do anything now.
But what I would like to co-sign is trying to build that bridge back because I think both you guys are funny. And of course, Dick is one of my best friends in life. And of course, I'm always going to roll with him. You know how it is. But I would like to see you guys get back on the same page.
Well, here's the thing. Here's what I'd be willing to do. I'd be willing to even like meet up and, shake hands, the whole thing. The problem is if you're the one inviting Dick to have the meetup, then he's going to break all his bones before coming, or he'll suddenly become violently ill and not show up. So,
well, we'll see, Jesse, and I appreciate you joining me, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for having me on.
All right, for sure.
Okay. Now, this is a part where it's going to get a little bit messy because I don't remember exactly where things happen, so we might have to like cut through certain things. Unfortunately, I just don't have timestamps because this was all kind of last minute throwing this one together. I'm supposed to be doing a Primo episode. I might even be doing the Primo episode tomorrow for you guys. We might throw that on the pizza fund. So podawful.pizza, we got a lot more for you. This is about to get crazy. Gabe Hoffman is about to join.
Support the show. Join the Pizza Fund. Podawful.pizza.
Pizza.
Podawful.pizza.
I got excited.
Very excited to see all of this. All right, this is about to get really, really interesting, really good. We got to find the spots here. Join the Pizza Fund, get the premium episodes. We don't, I don't have Patreon. I was kicked off of Patreon thanks to Dick Masterson. Thanks, Dick Masterson. Apparently, I'm going to become friends with Dick Masterson, so that's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm friends with Ralph. I'm friends with Vito. I'm friends with Dick Masterson. All the people you want to be friends with online. So it doesn't make him not a goon, by the way. Still a goon. We can be friends with the goons. I want to be friends with the goons. I wish I was friends with Mersh, even though his cachet has gone down now that he doesn't have a Twitter. Anyway, it's not a cloud chase thing. I think it's easier to get content out of him this way. Now, we ran a poll during all of that. Let's do this first. We ran a poll, 324 votes. This says, is Ethan Ralph sober? With 36% of the vote, 36% of the people say he is sober as a judge. Pretty good. However, unfortunately, 64% of the people say he is drunk as a plow wench. And I got to be honest, I made up that phrase. I don't know if that's a phrase or not. Drunk as a plow winch. Not even 100% sure what that is, but 64% of you seem to believe that. We might run another poll here in a second. That's not going to be the final results here. We got to hear Gabe Hoffman out, okay? You guys know Gabe Hoffman. The joke now is that he's paying everyone in the sector, total sector death. Let's keep listening to this. Because I know there's some tech issues. He's trying to get some people on. I'm not sure where Gabe comes in. We're going to have to figure this one out together.
This is because...
Stop the steal, they're saying in the chat.
They shut me
He's
out. He's
clearly sober.
Show, so I figured, why not do my own show?
What's this?
But if anybody else wants to speak...
His own Shaw.
Just one hair.
Shaw.
There's have one hair.
I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm looking through here.
You were fucked up.
Otherwise, me and Jesse.
Me and Jesse what? Finish it. I want to know. Ralph! Our whole relationship rides on this sentence. Where are you? Me and Jesse. And eternal ellipses.
You should be able to speak now.
Is this it? This might be it. I think this is it. All right, now, Gabe, if this is Gabe, Gabe has extremely bad audio. I don't know how. I thought these guys were media types. Gabe Hoffman, because he made a movie. What were you thinking? So I don't know how, but it's going to double. It's going to sound really bad. Stick with it. Just really listen and try to figure out what he's saying.
Ethan, can you hear me?
Here we go. This is it. Perfect.
Hello, can you hear me?
This is Gabe Hoffman.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay. Look, this is important. We have not talked about this before. I'm not asking to speak to fight with you or to argue with you. But
Okay, all right. Let me know in the chat if you can make that out, or do I need to do bottom of the barrel sector commentary and repeat every word he says? Of course, now in this one instance, this fucking talentless loser stream sniping, just stealing content. Just steal. Let's call it what it is, okay? You might as well be slapping a Teddy Feezer watermark over this. Stealing content with no real commentary. The one time we could use him doing a Johnny 2 times repeat session on this, he's not saying shit. Maybe he can't understand Gabe either, but I can. So if you need the help, let's see what they're saying in the chat right now. He's transitioning from a fighter jet. Okay, that's bizarre. It is audible. You're getting that. Feezer, someone spelling out for some reason in chat. You'd think Mossad would have a bigger operational budget, barely. So he's saying he's worried about Ethan, okay? Well, I'll figure out if it's listenable or not.
this is important, okay?
This is important, okay?
If you truly have not had a drink or...
If you truly have not had a drink, sector commentary, trademark, Feezer marked.
Or, anything since July 14th...
or anything since July 14th, then...
And I believe that it is important that you see a doctor.
All right, this is crazy. It's important that he sees a doctor. Now, I don't know what... listen, I'm not going to do an early life check on Gabe Hoffman. I don't know what his background is. Is he a doctor? Does he know anything about this? Where does he get this info?
And I'll explain why.
All right, he's going to explain it.
You have never seen my film. I know that you've never seen my film.
So he says, you've never seen my film. I know you've never seen my film.
No, I haven't.
One of the victims in the film was a very young man, a very healthy man. He was
One of the victims in the film was a very young man, a very healthy man.
in his early 20s.
Early 20s.
He was an alcoholic. He quit cold turkey, and he didn't do it with...
All right, there's one thing Ethan Ralph ain't ever going to do, bish, and it's quit cold turkey, because turkey's delicious. That wasn't worth it, and I shouldn't have put myself on camera for it. Don't screenshot that.
the doctor's supervision or anything like that. And he had a very bad stroke. He was crippled for the rest of his life. And he lives in assisted living to this day.
What the fuck? Just from not eating turkey?
And I'm telling you that you and I spoke about 3 weeks ago on your show because despite our
Just heat the turkey up. Fuck, man.
differences, if you were going after
Actually, turkey would explain how Ethan is acting here. All the tryptophan in it would make him tired. I bet he might be hooked on turkey. Okay, new poll. Let's end the last poll again. That you guys said he's drunk as a plow winch. Let's get another one going here. Is Ethan Ralph hooked on turkey? And your choices will be gobble, gobble, or I am confused by the question. Oh, I've run out of space to type. All right, so this next choice is actually part of the second choice. Can you please elaborate further? Okay, just enough room there. Okay, there's your poll. So let me know. Is Ethan hooked on turkey?
pedophiles, I wanted to help lend my expertise. And I'm just telling you that in hearing your voice, in hearing your cadence, you sound different than you did 3 weeks ago. Pod Awful thinks you sound different.
So yeah, I did, and I do. He does sound different. So Gabe and I are agreeing on something for once. Let me be clear. Gabe Hoffman, stop using me for your little Twitter jokes, okay? I hate you. You got at Pod Awful agrees. Pod Awful at Pod Awful. The reason I lost that 5 years ago, the account on Twitter, was because of fucking Gabe Hoffman. Stop joining me in things, okay? Stop acting like I'm part of you. I hate you, and not because you're a small hat or a hook nose, hand-rubbing, rootless, cosmopolitan, money-grubbing, secretly a pedo, media-connected, controlling the banks. Oh, my 6 million, Dahara, Deshowa. Not because of any of that. Whether or not it's true about you, I don't know. I don't know anything about you just because you got my Twitter. Just because much like the ADL and Israel, you somehow got my Twitter taken down. So please keep my name out your mouth. Thank you.
Been up 48 hours. I mean, what do you want me to say? Do you want the breathalyzer?
Fucking
I can take one on the air if you want.
I'm saying, Ethan, I believe there is a risk because you were an alcoholic for a while, and because you quit, there is a risk that you may have had a very small stroke and not quite realize it.
That blew me away. Now that's crazy. I didn't even know that was possible. So apparently you just quit drinking, you can stroke out, which sounds to me a lot like you should just maybe fucking keep drinking. I don't know. Again, kidney stones or osteoporosis. I'm choosing kidney stones. Stroke or being a drunk. I'm choosing being a drunk, me personally, but that's not for everybody.
And something's a little bit off and you don't know what, I'm just recommending you get checked out.
Nigga, I don't care if I live or die.
Okay.
You don't know the truth.
Whoa.
I have empathy for other people. So
Ethan's back in a vitamin S spiral. He's about to commit.
Whatever's going on, that's
he wants to join the S community, which is of course the T community. This is what I'm saying. He's tuning out. Who doesn't care if they live or die? It's the T.
I said what I had to say, and I have good reason for saying it. So take care, and God bless, and have a good night.
Okay, well, which God?
Well, and thank you for that. But and let me how do I even do this? Jesus Christ, meet their mic. I think people think I'm joking when I say that I'll die for all this.
Oh my God.
And no, I'm not drunk. I have been up for an ungodly amount of time. And that's unfortunate. But, I'll be back tomorrow with a kill stream. I will get some sleep eventually.
I've never been drunk, but I have been tired. And I feel like it's different. That's my personal experience.
But, Gabe, and if Gabe wants to come back on here, he can raise his hand again. But he decided to get involved with my beef with Grace Thorpe and her pedophile father. I don't take kindly to that, Gabe.
Okay, I have no clue what
I
he's
really
talking
don't.
about. I don't know what any of this means. I don't follow any of this stuff. I need a little Johnny 2 times to start repeating this for me to even understand what's going on. I'm not a sector follower.
And so,
Is he like
oh, here we go. Oh, just speaking of the devil. Here we go.
smacking
You know,
himself?
you can.
Is he smacking himself? He said, no, I'm going to guess no. I'm going to guess he's packing some cigarettes, or something. My guess is no, he's not smacking himself. Now, of course, the new lore is going to be that Ethan had a stroke. That's going to be the new lore. So actually, we should do another new poll. So we've got our last poll. We've got, is Ethan Ralph hooked on turkey? With 63% people say gobble gobble. Only 7% said, I am confused by the question. However, 30% said, can you please elaborate further? No, I cannot. So let's get a new poll going here.
Defend those people if you want. But they picked a fight with me, and you made it your mission to try to defend them. And that was your decision. Completely up to you. But I'm on a mission to not only destroy the Thorpe family, but I'm in contact with Courtney Thorpe. I'm in contact with the authorities in Rhode Island. And I'm going to make sure that Ben never sees his kids again. And he fucked with the wrong one, is what he did.
Goddamn womanizing, raping,
And
calling stupid, pickle-suited.
No, Chris. No, wrong one.
This has all been a trick. You have been trolled.
Okay, so we got a new poll going on. Did Ethan Ralph have a stroke?
Goddamn.
No! God, no.
The pickle man tricked me again.
There we go. Did Ethan Ralph have a stroke? Your choices are yes, I'm an idea guy, or no, pickle man. Okay, we're just gonna go with that for now and figure it out. Now we gotta skip ahead here. There's a weird part here where Ethan just disappears. Now, secretly, while it seems like I have left this stream at this point, I was there still the whole time. I could have talked at any point during all of this, but I was being respectful, and I didn't. I stayed on just in case. When I heard that Ethan could have had a stroke, it terrified me. So I needed to be there just in case something bad happens. Ethan, I hope you're watching this and you understand I am coming from a good place with all of this. Okay, now there's total silence.
So I'll remove from speakers, but I would actually like to hear from him. Oh, is he talking now? Let me try. Where's Wild Goose? Okay. Wild Goose, would like to.
Okay, so he's trying to get this guy Wild Goose on. Now, that turns out to be, no joke, a wild goose chase. The guy has trouble getting on. I don't know what happens. Okay. Dead air. Now, at this point, you hear Ethan might have had a stroke. You think it might be literal dead air. There's a problem here.
Can't make people talk.
That's true. Okay, so I come back on. Oh, there you go. Well, all right, I'm going to try to find the spot here. Here we go. I think it's right around here. I just decide to take over.
Okay, well, welcome everybody to Pod Awful. I'm your host, Jesse PS.
Oh, God, no.
And with us here today is no one, apparently. Ethan has muted himself. This is awkward.
Okay, you can hear me. You can hear me now.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay,
there was a long time between me coming in, and when we last heard Ethan a long time. I'm shocked people stuck around that long. I'm sure they were all just wondering, is this it? Has vitamin S been taken? Covering for you while you were gone there.
I
You were
appreciate that.
silent for a while.
What? Cause fuck, I don't know how to use this shit.
This might be the most literal version of H2BH the show ever. I truly took over the show at this point, but luckily Ethan woke back up or whatever was happening. I don't know. The space is a little hard to figure out at first, but you'll get it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
Bring on Baked. Why isn't Baked Alaska should be on here?
Baked Alaska is welcome to
Trying to get his friends in to help. Baked was busy. He couldn't do it. I talked to him.
To speak, if he would like to. But, you know, can't make people talk.
That's true.
So, you know, it is what it is.
I don't know. Maybe it's bedtime, Ethan. Maybe you should go to bed.
You think so?
You're seeming pretty tired, yeah.
Jesse,
no.
no!
I wanted to give.
Jesse, no! Oh, thank you, Gizmo. Go back to the Gremlins. Listen, I get it. It seems like anti-content. It seems like to tell Ethan to go to... Now, number one, I know if I say that, he ain't going to bed. But number two, this is bad. I mean, to me, this is bad. I don't know. People in the chat, they're voting. They're saying, again, did Ethan Ralph have a stroke? Yes has 48%. Yes, I'm an idea guy, 48%. No, Pickle Man has 53. It's neck and neck. This poll is neck and neck. I'm actually going to end it there. We're just going to call that one there. It's neck and neck. So I get it. I get the knee-jerk reaction to me saying maybe it's time to go to bed. There had already been plenty of content, but you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong because the most amazing part of this is still coming up. The most psycho thing I've ever heard, and it wasn't even out of Ethan Ralph's mouth.
As possible, it's has to speak.
Jesse, shut the fuck up and leave.
All right, well, everybody make your
Continue.
requests known now. He's hyperventilating over me. Let's get everybody. Let's just get everybody up. Now, why? Why is the stream sniper hyperventilating over the stream going? Because this is it. Because without Ethan, these guys wither. There is no cog without Ethan Ralph, you know? I mean, I hate to say, what is Kino Casino without Ethan Ralph at this point? What happens if he dies? Listen, when you've whizzled the teats of your cow, you kind of got to give it a break. When there's dust coming out of the udders, give it a second. But these guys need it. This guy, bottom feeder, that I'm stealing this stream from right now, needs it. Needs it. He's desperate. No, don't let this end. I've already been streaming for over an hour. This is only the 50th stream I've done about Ethan Ralph. Oh, I just streamed the day before for 6 fucking hours where all I did was stream snipe Ethan Ralph. No, Jesse, stop. Total sector death.
Yeah, I agree.
Sad! Pathetic!
All right, any requests? Or?
Well, I actually gave him co-host abilities, so
I have no clue what he's talking about here.
If he wants to speak or not.
I don't know. Okay. Maybe Baked. He might be talking about Baked. I was confused at the moment.
It is what it is.
Well, imagine if it wasn't. All right, see, now that's the thing, though. He's with it enough. Sober or not, he's with it enough to get that joke. Even just keep saying it is what it is, which you guys know I hate that phrase. That's an instant you're retarded phrase. If you say it is what it is, nobody says it more than Alex Stein, actually. But it is what it is. I say, what if it wasn't? He laughs. I mean, he gets it, you know? That's pretty good. Or it might mean he's more brain dead than we thought.
You're right. Imagine if it wasn't.
You know what I mean? That'd be crazy.
you know,
At the end of the day, yeah.
there's what I don't know, 200 and some people watching right now, or listening, and I would like to to hear from him, but he said his mic was fucked up or something.
Now I think he's talking about Wild Goose.
I don't doubt him. Maybe they are fucked up. So it is what it is. I think I pretty much said all I've had to say, really, but I was just trying to give more people chances to speak.
Do you think you'll take up Gabe's advice and see a doctor?
About what?
What?
Yeah, I don't recall. I mean, he did mention seeing a doctor, but I don't recall what.
Now, this is where we have a huge communication breakdown. I think he completely forgot about the Gabe call, which again goes in the maybe not so sober file. And he starts to take what I'm saying here, not as what Gabe said, but as my own thoughts and opinions and ideas. And that leads to bad news. I think Ethan might even be mad at me now. Now we're getting people in the chat. Somebody in chat said, can we please get a new image of Ethan on screen? Which is understandable. I don't have much here, so I'm having to Google. Okay, here's just a random. Here you go. I'm gonna do a random image on screen here, and then I hope this is good. I get it. You're tired of seeing the same thing, so we'll throw a new one up for you, and hopefully this will be good enough. Okay. Sorry about that. Here we go.
But he meant about seeing a doctor.
Well, he said he was worried you were having a stroke. I think he said or something. Or you had a mini stroke.
Yeah, I don't think I'll pick that up. No.
Okay. You seemed genuinely concerned.
Yeah, I know. Helpful. But no, I don't think that's gonna happen. So,
Are you refusing to see a doctor because you're worried they'll be Jewish?
no, I just don't like doctors.
Even Mexican ones?
Well, they are a little bit better than me.
I have a Mexican doctor for you, Ethan.
In the U.S., but no, I don't feel a need to see a doctor. Like, what would I see a doctor about?
Well, I don't know if what he said has any merit to it, but you know, if he seems to think you're having a stroke, I would go to a doctor if that was me. But
I mean, do I seem like I'm having a stroke? Like,
you seem like something is severely off. Yeah.
You think so?
I do, but it could. Listen. Could it be that you've just been awake for a long time? Sure, but then I worry about why you've been awake for that long. You know.
Well, I mean, you know, I don't really take your advice that seriously, to be honest.
My advice is not my advice. What did I do?
Well, I mean, you repeated it, so
I'm just saying. I just asking if you're taking Gabe's advice or not.
No, is the answer.
Okay.
Do you have anything else, or
no?
Okay. Well,
I'm trying to help him out. If I keep giving him stuff, if I keep giving him content, this just keeps going. I really don't think it should.
That's good, and I appreciate that.
You can tell he's upset with me. I didn't introduce the stroke idea. I think he just got rid of me from the call.
But no, I'm not having a stroke. God damn it! I wish I was having a stroke. But no, I'm not having a stroke.
See, when you say stuff like that, it sounds bad. It makes me go, maybe you're having a stroke. You know what I mean?
That's like the weirdest, like, craziest fucking talking point that I've heard in a while. If anything, I would have a heart attack because I'm a badass. So, I mean, you can have a stroke as a fat ass
Yeah, I think
too.
you can still have a stroke as a fat guy.
Oh, I am still okay. He hasn't got. He does get rid of me at some point here. Maybe that's the line that does it. Yeah, I don't know. I've heard of fat guys having strokes. Me personally, I have run into. Maybe this is anecdotal evidence, but I think that it might be possible for a fat guy to have a stroke. I agree with him that heart attack also seems likely.
Yeah, true. But no, I'm not having a stroke. So I started this because Medicare wouldn't let me on his stream. That's why I started. So
Yeah, everybody got that.
anybody else
Now I'm gone.
who wants to talk,
He just unceremoniously goodbye. And remember, he didn't even know I had been on the whole time. I could have taken over the show long before this. Everybody knows I love taking over a show. I love turning it into what I want to happen. And I never am the first to hang up, ever. I was ready for that hang up.
raise their hand or make it known now. And I will let that happen.
So here's the thing. I brought up a Mexican judge to Ethan. I said, wouldn't it be a good idea to make, not a Mexican judge, a Mexican doctor, a Mexican judge would be perfect, actually, because that's the only person who's going to know if he's exactly sober or not. But the next best thing I can do when I don't have a judge is I do have a Mexican doctor. So I think it's time we should probably speak to my Mexican doctor and see what he thinks about all of this. Let's get him on the line here. Here we go. And ladies and gentlemen, my doctor, my Mexican doctor, Dr. Herman Tirado, is here with us. Dr. Tirado, thank you so much for joining me. And this is such an important thing because, you know, I don't know, you know this about me. I'm sober. I don't, what do you even call that? What is it called when you just never drink? Is that sober?
Well, I think that's what's called being a normal person, but
yeah,
being a straight edge or being sober. Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to call it straight edge because that feels retarded. It feels retarded. It feels 2004, and I'm not into that. So now the thing with Ethan is, you know, he's slurring his words. Obviously, he's had drinking problems in the past. He's had pill problems. He swears up and down it's all past. You heard him. What do you think? I mean, you're a Mexican doctor. He's a dyed-in-the-wool Mexican himself. You've got to be able to diagnose a fellow Mexican.
Well, from the Twitter space, he was obviously slurring his words. He was, we call it sleeping the S or like extending the S sound.
Yeah.
Medically.
Yeah, extending the S. Is that a Mexican phrase? I don't know if I've ever heard that one before.
Yeah, it's in Spanish. It makes more sense, but yeah.
Okay.
You just call it slurring.
Gotcha. Now,
slur speech.
I thought you guys had a letter for that. Like, isn't there an essay and an essay or something like that?
Yeah, but it's different because it's not so long.
It's
different. Like if you called me and I say normal, I would say, hey Jesse, how are you? And if I was drunk, it would be like, hey Jesse, how are you?
You're actually the only Mexican I've ever heard that didn't sound like the second one. So I was just about to ask you, is it hard in Mexico? You know, everybody's drinking tequila all the time. Nobody drinks the water. Is it difficult to determine if someone is even drunk to begin with or just the regular amount of Mexican?
Well, if it's on a Friday, it's very difficult to determine what's normal.
Yeah, I could see that. Okay, so in your astute medical opinion, and I know you're a busy guy, I gotta let you go here in a second. You're heading off. Are you heading off to Canada? Is that what you told me earlier?
Yeah, I'm going to Canada.
Wow. Okay, so and they let you guys in up there, huh?
Apparently they do.
You're not
There's
planning.
No law over there.
There's no law. You're not planning to like slip in and stay there, are you? Is that the idea?
No, I've got my return flight and all.
Okay, well, they always do. You know that. Hey, I've seen that trick before. But anyway, my point is, with all of this, I'm worried about Ethan's health. I think this sector is an absolute, it's killing the man. And I don't know what it is. He's got all these problems with his kids and the ex-wife and fathers-in-laws and so many court proceedings, and the entire internet's watching him. In your humble medical Mexican opinion, is Ethan Ralph sober?
I would say he is not sober. At least in that Twitter space, he was not sober.
I want to believe him because he's my friend. I want to believe you because you're my doctor. Unfortunately, I think the only person that could really, truly determine this, and no offense, is probably a judge. You don't know any Mexican judges, do you?
I do, but not in the state he lives in.
Oh, okay. So, unfortunately, yeah, all right. Well, maybe, I don't know. Send me that guy's number or something. We might have to figure this out.
But in Mexico, judges cannot dictate if you're drunk or not. The doctor has to do that.
Really? That's not okay. So that must be an American custom. I was unfamiliar. All right. Well, anyway, thank you so much, Dr. Tirado. We really appreciate it. And your medical advice. By the way, you saw the Salvo Pancakes poo-poo special. We used your judgment on that. You determined that Salvo Pancakes is not a poop guy in that episode. We're trying to get Flamenco to do the pee-pee test. Okay. I feel like while you're here, this is public, so he'll be able to see this. Could you guarantee Flamenco 100%, a medical grade diagnosis of whether or not he's a pedophile if he was to do the pee-pee test? You would be unbiased on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be unbiased because, well, I don't know him personally, and I gain nothing if he's a pedo or he's not a pedo.
Yeah. So you would be able to determine just by the look of his penis and whether or not it was getting hard that he was a pedophile or not. You would not let any other factors, your personal preferences or opinions bleed into that. You're a strict medical professional.
No. I will not allow any of that to change my opinion.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Tirado, thank you so much. Thank you. And happy to have been here. And have fun in Canada, okay?
Thank you. You too.
All right, I love
I'll
you.
See you later in the show.
I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah.
For a nice kiss.
You already knew I was going to do it. Okay, bye. Okay. So, wait, no, the show's not over. I keep hitting the outro by accident. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Tirado, for your medical opinion. He says he thinks Ethan is not so. And, of course, I didn't ask him, I should have said alcohol or pills or what. Maybe he couldn't tell. I'm not sure. What we need is a Mexican judge. We're going to work on that one. All right. But, well, there's still actually the most amazing part of this content to go. So let's keep listening to this. Hopefully this guy shows up here soon. Some dude joins this Twitter space. And I don't know what he thinks is happening on this show. I don't know what he thinks is going, who's there, what's it. I don't know what he thinks Ethan Ralph is all about. And by the way, by the end of this, we won't learn any more information. This is the most psycho shit I've ever heard.
I've tried to get Wild Goose on here, but it's just not happening. So, I mean, it's kind of pointless, really, at this point. I think I've said everything I needed to say. So, and I know there's a lot of people who wishes I would fall off the wagon and wishes that I couldn't do the show. And I'll be fucked up doing the show. I'll be doing a show tomorrow. So, I didn't do one today, that's true. But no, I'm perfectly lucid. Perspicacity.
Oopsie. Bit of a Freudian slip there. Ethan just said, I'm perfectly wasted, which, if you're having a stroke, seems to be the preferable choice. perfectly wasted, just the right amount of completely trashed.
Would you like to speak?
So he's trying to get other people up.
Let's see.
Nobody else wants to join. I don't think I'm the only one who was like too worried about Ethan and all of this to join.
I really don't.
Except for one psycho motherfucker.
Problem is, I really don't know how to run Twitter Spaces, and so, it's a little weird.
I don't know. Kelsey in chat says, I thought he said perfectly lucid. I don't want to misrepresent him. Maybe I misheard it. Looks like we're going to have to run another poll. What did he say? Let's find out.
Backup account as well. But first, Cassie, can you speak? It says speaker, but you have to unmute yourself. Let's see.
This is sort of a Laurel and Yanny situation. Blue dress, gold dress.
Like the co-host. Yeah, you have to unmute yourself.
If you were perfectly lucid, I wouldn't be confused on whether or not you're saying wasted, probably.
That's not me. That's them.
Here we go. New poll.
I know everyone wants to say, Ralph is fucked up and Ralph is drunk. Well, goddamn, I can't fucking make people talk. Like, I don't know what to say. So it has him muted. And I sent him requests to speak, but
there's definitely some lore spinners in chat right now are saying I heard lucid, but wasted is better. I want you to vote with your heart, not with your brain. You see what I'm saying here? So make sure. I mean, really, what do you think he said? Because here's the thing. I didn't hear wasted. I didn't hear him say that at all the first time, but somebody pointed that out to me afterward. They said, did you hear him Freudian slip in there? He said, I'm wasted. So when I listened to it that time, maybe my brain was just primed for wasted. I completely forgot that was coming up. I heard it. I heard wasted. Again, if you saw white and gold, you were wrong. There is a right answer. It's Laurel or it's Yanny. I don't know which one, but we got to find out together.
Like apparently he can't speak. So
perfectly wasted, way ahead right now.
It's a little strange.
64% to 36 for perfectly lucid. While Ralph tries to find the next guest here, because I don't know where the guy pops in. I wish I had a time code for you. I'm sorry about this. Let's see if I can just run it ahead here.
I really don't know how to fix that. So
when this guy comes in, it's going to floor you. It's going to floor you. You can't imagine it.
If he can talk, within the next.
Okay, I think he's brought a guy on. This might be it. So he's bringing a guy on. They're trying to figure out the sound issue. Again, this whole stream, it's been about Medicare. It's been about Ethan being drunk or not. Like everybody knows the direction this thing is going. He brings on this guy. This is a random dude. Just some random Twitter user. He could be saying anything. He could jump on and start accusing Ralph of crimes, calling him a revenge pornographer. He could say the worst shit ever. Ethan has the balls to face him.
Like 3 minutes. That would be good.
Perfectly wasted, 67%.
If not, I'm probably just going to end it.
We're at 97 votes. We got a lot more people watching.
8-9 hour show tomorrow.
330 people watching right now. Let's get those votes in.
This late, honestly.
Some people missed it.
But it is what it is.
Well, what if it wasn't? You ever think about that?
First Cassie, where the fuck?
He's trying to get some perspiration man in. I don't know what that means.
Requested.
Perspicity.
Okay, this person has requested.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Killstream. Hey. Hi. Thank you for letting me on. I'm so glad that you didn't close. Like,
I want this space to close out with a bang. Are you ready?
Yes, we are fucking ready.
I got excited, very excited to see all of this.
Okay. Buckle in. Now, this guy goes Killstream, so you think he's an Ethan guy. This is a Ralph mail, right? I don't think this guy knows what Killstream is. I don't think he knows who Ethan Ralph is. Maybe a vague idea, but this dude was right. He's about to close this out with a bang, and he'll be closing out Pod Awful the same way. Thank you to this brave young warrior.
You're not ready.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to drop this. I'm dropping it in the bubble right now. Everybody, I'm gonna drop this free movie. It's a free movie for right now. You guys are getting a free preview.
Okay.
It's in the bubble. It's in the bubble.
This is a lot like when the the black guy comes on the bus with DVDs. He's somehow a DVD salesman. I don't know where he got the license for all these DVDs, but he comes onto the bus and he wants to sell you some DVD. That's what's going on right now. We just got boarded by a DVD Mexican. Okay, so I've never seen this in a Twitter space.
Now, it's in the bubble right now. And let me see. Try to repost it. I'm gonna post it. My name is Louis. I'm gonna post it on my timeline.
A DVD.
You'll see me as alias because this is in fact my alias account. Anyhow, so the movie that I just posted for everybody. It's called Everything Wrong with the Capitol Riots in 889 Angles. Baked Alaska, who I think is in here right now, happens to be one of the co-stars of the movie. Really, really, really interesting.
So, I'm friends with Baked. I'm like, wait, Baked was in a movie? This is crazy. I'm like lighting up. I'm like, oh, he's acted in something? I had no idea.
Interesting movie. Baked, have you seen it?
Baked is not in the call.
Well,
Baked is like in the space listening. He's not a speaker. So this guy is talking to a guy who cannot reply to him.
Well, I don't know if he can.
Wait, hold on. Baked. I don't think Baked's up. Man, okay. So, long story short, January the 6th was one really bad scripted and acted and produced movie. There's this movie that's right now, it's in the bubble,
right. Yeah.
and it really lays out literally everything. Who would have thought that the Proud Boys were Antifa?
What?
Who would have thought that the Proud Boys were Antifa?
I don't know.
Would you have thought it? I wouldn't have thought it. I would have never in my wildest imagination.
I've never thought that.
Well, you should because it's true. And
so Ethan's entertained. No, I've never thought that. Sure. Okay. All right. I'm on the hook. I'm listening. What's this guy? Yeah, this guy calls himself Alias, but he spells it wrong. 2 A's. 2 A's, L-I, 2 A's, S.
It's irrefutable. And
well, there you go.
Where I
Case
posted
closed.
it, who I posted it from, that movie's about, it's such a spoiler. Okay, so you guys got about 20 to 48 hours to watch the movie.
Spoiler alert!
Save it for cold storage because it's going to come in really, really important for some of y'all's friends who don't want to get in trouble for this shit.
This is what it would feel like if a time traveler actually came back, okay? He's like, he's only got minutes. He's like, I could, if I step on anything, it could change the entire flow of time. We could ruin everything. I need you to understand. And you're like, what? You ever see a movie and they're like, they give a guy directions over the phone and he's not writing them down? He's like, meet me here. You got to go here and then here. And you're like, I would never. That movie over. I've forgotten everything you said. They click. You don't have a phone number for them. There's no caller ID. You have to be at the corner of Jackson and 25th. Instantly, I don't remember the number street. Jackson, I might get. I might sit there and look at Google Maps and go, which number did he say? I'm out. This guy, cold storage, I've never even had to put a movie in cold storage before. I'm not 100% sure what that means, but I'm intrigued.
But then it's going to be already in the theaters. It is already set.
Okay.
Tickets have already been bought.
What?
Yes.
The tickets have been bought. It's going into the theaters. The tickets have been bought. Download it now. Spoiler alert. Put it in cold storage. Johnny 2 times. I'm just repeating what this man says. This isn't real commentary. Send in your super chats.
I appreciate you.
No, you don't appreciate. I
adding
don't
that
think. Wait.
nothing to do
It
with
has
anything we're
It has
talking
everything to
about,
do. It has
but,
everything to do with what we're talking about. Everything. Look, I promised you that we were going to go out tonight with a very interesting. You know what? It was. This drunken fool was not allowed to hold the switch open this long, just for y'all to go.
Now you think Ethan has gotten rid of this guy. It just cuts out. There's no audio. I don't know what happens here, but watch this. This is the magic of Dear God.
What drunken
Go to sleep. I don't think.
What? He came back?
Out to sleep because you've put lions through me through a lot of different things. Look, I come in peace.
Okay, so this guy's an alien, first of all. Take me to your leader, by the way. Nanu and Klaatu Barada Niktu. So I don't know what we missed in that drop. Some sort of EMP went off. Maybe his UFO was sending out an electronic signal that scrambled the Twitter space. But whatever we missed in there, I feel like was key. Because this goes from being about a movie to being about this guy having lions sent through him. And I believe him. I walked away. Whatever this guy's selling, I'm buying.
First and foremost, I really hope that everybody finds Jesus Christ really quickly. Really quickly. The most important thing right now that you should be worried about is whether or not your name was written in the Lamb's Book of Life before the foundation of the earth. You understand me? The very first thing. Baked Alaska.
Yeah, I didn't take over this stream. This guy took over the stream.
Last guy saw you laugh, but you know what? The very first thing everybody should be concerned about right now, was your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life before the foundation of the earth? Because if it's not, you have no idea what is coming for you. Every knee is going to bow before Jesus Christ. Baked Alaska, it is so funny that you are laughing because you pretend to be a Christian. You know what? I got you. I got Trannis. I got Help Stop Hate. All of you guys. This movie, Baked Alaska, do you understand that you are the subject of a movie that is going to be in theaters? You can't stop this. This is what they meant by.
Okay, so how many?
Where one of us goes. Hold on.
Unless you have at least 1,000 to 3,000 theaters.
Wait. Let me explain myself, please.
Hang on.
Let me explain myself.
Hear the man out. Okay, you're treating him like he's crazy. This guy's got something to say. Yeah, somebody in chat said we're subscribing to his newsletter. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and subscribe for the full 12 months. I'm going to do the annual plan on this one. Hear him out. You don't know. He might be going somewhere with this, okay? Number one, it's a movie. So grab your popcorn, everybody. Here we go.
Please. This is what they meant by where one of us goes, all of us goes. One of us was watching all of it. One of us knew the contracts that were being made. Right. One of us is a line producer. That's not going to mean much to most of y'all, but it means to the right people. One of us was a line producer. I'm going to teach.
So this guy in this man is multitudes, I guess. I don't know who's us. You know, when a guy starts saying us and we, and it's all you're seeing is him, he's got a symbiote. There's a Venom situation going on, which means he's trans technically. So, you know, if you're using they, them pronouns, you're a symbiote. This guy is going to eat you, Ethan. Run.
Teach the rest of the world what it means to be a line producer, what storytelling means.
Yeah, that's a standard job in Hollywood.
You guys, I promise you will never be on a more interesting space ever in your life than the one that you are on right now.
True.
Nigga, right this is my space, not yours.
Baked Alaska. Oh my gosh, Baked Alaska is right now. He's so warm. They just call it a jacuzzi. Baked Alaska is sitting in a jacuzzi right now. Listen, you guys got to watch it. It's in everything that is with the Capitol riots and 889 angles. 889 angles. You know what? There's 14,000 or so that are missing, but you know what's so fucking hilarious? There's these fucking stupid motherfuckers that call themselves Angry Fleas. They did all the work. They're the ones who did all the work.
This is one of the
Angry
Earth's
Fleas, I hope
jokers.
you're in this room.
That's an Earth's joker. A guy starts saying stuff you don't even know what he's talking about, and he cackles. He Dr. Evil laughs to himself. 889 angles, 889 angles, 889 angles. I feel like a fucking Manchurian candidate right now.
Angry Fleas. You did all the work, Angry Fleas. I'm gonna make sure, I didn't even thought about it, but when this movie rolls, you're going to be executive producer, Angry Fleas. Oh, yeah, thumbs down, bitch. Nothing you can do to stop it. This is what they meant. You all thought,
And right when he says there's nothing you can do to stop it, fucking, he might be drunk, he might be sober, but Ethan Ralph, the genius, stops it right then. That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, that was fucking amazing. Now, whether or not Ethan Ralph is sober as a judge, only God can well, also a judge can judge. Actually, speaking of that, we just ran a poll, by the way. Apparently the answer was 889 angles. I just got sent the contact info from my Mexican doctors. You know, he said he's got a judge friend, but he doesn't live in the same area. So let's see what the judge has to say. Ladies and gentlemen, is Ethan Ralph sober?
I don't have time to rule on your motion. I'm far too busy being delicious.
Okay, so there you go. So I don't know. We'll never know for sure, but Ethan, I'm not kidding when I say this. I hope you're doing great and get better. Listen, there is nothing wrong with admitting that you have a problem. It's the first step, and we want to see you doing great. Total sector death. It's over. Okay? No more cog. No more bottom feeders. Listen, I wouldn't say this if I didn't know that Andy and PPP can find a new cow to milk. You can do it. It's time. Imagine covering Chris Chan every day in the current year. Are you even watching Geno Samuel anymore? If you are, you're a new... There's nothing to keep up with. So where do we go from here? What do we do? Well, first of all, join the Pizza Fund and watch more Pod Awful. We've got a million goons, the funniest ones on the planet, and guys you've never heard of before. Some of the funniest shit happens in the Pizza Fund. Join it. We're banned on, for most of our videos. Most of the 14-year history of Pod Awful is banned on YouTube, but you can get it over there, podawful.pizza. Where do we go, though? If we want to cover somebody big, if we want to figure out what's happening, well, I'll tell you another place where there's rot in the community. As a matter of fact, even using the term community proves the point that it's bad. Anything that's a community is bad. And I'm, of course, talking about the commentary community. Have you ever even heard of this? The commentary community? It's disgusting. Listen, think about it for 2 seconds. What are other communities? Well, there's the commentary community, there's the LGBT community, and of course, the black community. I don't know. Sounds bad to me. Salvo Pancakes is another guy who, just like Ethan Ralph, is one of these. He's funny, but also he only cares about the entertaining part. He'll do whatever it takes to entertain you. He has been going after these commentary community guys for a little while now. Yesterday, he did a stream on Keemstar and all of these orbiter. It's just like Ethan Ralph. From the top of the sector on down, Keemstar to the very bottom of the barrel. He has all of these hidden... I linked this on my YouTube. He has all of these secret recordings he did what did he call it? The Buffalo Tapes, I think it's called. The Buffalo Tapes. He had stuff on Keemstar that is unreal, and it's not getting shared. It's time to destroy the commentary community. Listen, Salvo tweeted at me during this show. He says, at the N-word, join me in the crusade against the CC, the commentary community. It's so disgusting to say commentary community. He now says the CC. Well, I got a name for it. I don't know if you've ever seen these guys. We're talking Keemstar. We're talking, oh, we hate this guy, Turkey Tom, Augie RFC, these children playing in their closets. These people only exist. The sector, the commentary community, these fucking weird bottom feeders only exist to prop each other up. It's bizarre. It's a fucking circular pyramid scheme. It's an Ouroboros of pyramid schemes. It shouldn't be physically possible. It's not the commentary community. It is the circle jerk of strangers. These are nobodies, and all they talk about is each other, and somehow there's an audience for this. We don't want to steal the audience. We're not clout chasing this shit. We're tearing it down. We're starting over. You got these giant YouTubers starting fights with each other now. Jax, what is his name? Septic Eye. I don't even know this guy's name. He's calling out Mr. Beast, saying Mr. Beast ruined the platform. I saw some guy unironically share an image of this guy Jack's YouTube channel and Mr. Beast's. And Jax is like these Minecraft videos where he's like, I just made an entire black person out of Minecraft. And he's going, ah! And then they show the Mr. Beast one and he's like, I gave 1 million children Minecraft for free. And he's going, ah! With that horrified expression Mr. Beast has in every thumbnail where it looks like they photoshopped out the gun to his head, his dead eyes. And you're supposed to apparently look at this and go, the Mr. Beast one is the good one. They're both Minecraft videos. I look at it and go, they're the same picture. We've got everybody online complaining about everybody else's content, and yet they're all continuing to make and be the exact same shit. Maddox calls out Wang for drama while doing a drama video about Wang. I agree with everything he said about Wang, but I am no longer team Maddox. Just need that out there. We're against Maddox. We're against it all. Pod Awful is an anti-podcast. We're against podcasts. We're against all of this shit. The commentary community, you know what? I've dabbled. Just like with the sector, I've dabbled. Nicholas Diorio blocks me. Turkey Tom blocks me. I'm joining with Salvo Pancakes. This is us. We're shaking hands in partnership. I want to tear down this community. I hate communities, and it's time to go. You're on fucking notice. Total sector death, total commentary death. Johnny 2 times. What is there to comment on when all you're commenting on is guys commenting on? It's fucking turtles all the way down. And I'm Mario, and I'm ready to kick ya. Bye! Show's over. Don't go on the internet tomorrow. Till next time, have an awful day. We're going cold turkey on Turkey Tom. Fuck, I'm having a stroke. Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Sad! Pathetic!